Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we were learning about our chapter number 9, respiration in living beings. And in respiration in living beings, we have completed breathing. Then, we have completed the difference between breathing and respiration. Now, today, we will learn about the exchange of gases. So, my dear student, in this manner, in this topic, we will learn how the gases are exchanged from our body, how the exchange of gases takes place within the surrounding to our body and from our body to the surrounding. Okay, so now in the first step, the oxygen rich air enters our body through nose. So from the surrounding we inhale the air with the help of nose, and our nose contain hairs. You have seen all the human beings here inside the nose there are small tiny hairs. These tiny hairs help in trapping the dust particle and germs. When we inhale the air, so this air contains some dust particles, so and germs, so this tiny hairs or nostrils trap the dust particle and the germs, and only air is allowed to move inside our body through the nose. So these tiny hair particles trap the dust particle and germs. After this, the inhaled air is passed through the larynx. Larynx means your foot. Larynx is an organ near a in a trachea. Larynx is an organ near a neck, and it is present in a trachea. This trachea then divide into bronchi. This trachea branches into bronchi. Bronchi already I told you in the last video. I have told you in the diagram where is the bronchi. So this trachea branches into bronchi. Each bronchi each lungs contains their several bronchi. Each lungs contain their several bronchi. Each bronchus further branch into bronchles. These bronchs is further divided into bronchles. These bronchi is further divided into bronchles, which reach several alveoli in the lungs. After passing from the bronchi, it reaches to the bronchi. The air reaches to the bronchi, and from the bronchi, the air reaches into the alveoli. The air reaches into the alveoli. Air thus travels from the windpipe to the bronchi, and then into the bronchi, and finally reach the bronchi. So once again, we will see how the air reaches from surrounding to our lungs. From the nose, the air enters. The air is purified by removal of the dust particle and germs with the help of nostril. Then this inhaled air reaches into the larynx, and from the larynx through the trachea it reaches into the bronchs. Through the lungs it reaches into the bronchs. From the bronchs it reaches to the bronchles, and from the bronchi it reaches into the alveoli. Now the exchange of gases occurs in the alveoli. Exchange of gases occurs in the alveoli facilitated by the blood capillaries. The blood capillary absorbs the oxygen. The blood capillaries absorbs the oxygen, and the carbon dioxide is released back to the alveoli. The carbon dioxide is released back to the bronchi, this alveoli, and this alveoli again sends this carbon dioxide to the lungs, and through the lungs and the windpipe or the trachea it comes out through our nose. So this is the way how the exchange of gases takes place. Once again I am repeating in a short way. The air enters in through our nose. From our nose the air enters into the lungs through the trachea. In the lungs it reaches into the bronchi. From bronchi it reaches to the bronchi, and from bronchi it reaches to the alveoli. In the alveoli, these alveoli are connected to the blood capillaries. These alveoli are connected to the blood capillaries. These alveoli are connected to the blood capillaries. In the blood capillaries, these blood capillary absorbs the oxygen from the this capillary absorbs the oxygen from the alveoli. These blood capillary absorbs the oxygen from the alveoli and releases the and these blood capillaries then releases the carbon dioxide. This blood capillary releases the carbon dioxide into alveoli, and from alveoli it reaches to the lungs. The carbon dioxide reaches to the lungs, and from the lungs through the windpipe and nose it is removed out in the surroundings. So in this way the exchange of gases takes place in the through our lungs and the surrounding. Now the important topic is respiration. So first of all, the oxygen absorbed from the alveoli. The oxygen absorbed from the alveoli combines with the hemoglobin present in the blood. So what is the hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is a red color pigment in our blood. Why our blood is red? Due to the presence of hemoglobin, our blood is red. So red consists of three structures. Blood consists of three parts. So out of one part, one is hemoglobin. Blood contains our three parts. One of the part is hemoglobin. Due to the presence of hemoglobin, our blood is red. So oxygen from the surrounding air is mixed with the hemoglobin. The oxygen from the air is mixed with the hemoglobin, and when this oxygen mixes with the blood, it forms the oxyhemoglobin. It forms the oxyhemoglobin, and this oxygen, by mixing in the oxyhemoglobin, this is transmitted to all parts of our body. This oxygen is transmitted to all parts of our body through the oxyhemoglobin. In the cell, the oxygen helps to break down carbohydrate to release energy. In the cell, when this oxyhemoglobin reaches into the cell, this oxygen help to break down carbohydrate into energy. When this oxygen reaches into the cell, this oxygen help to break carbohydrate to release energy. The reaction takes place inside the cell. The reaction takes place inside the cell, which produces the energy. This complete process is called respiration. The chemical reaction of respiration can be summed up as carbohydrate plus oxygen give rise to energy plus carbon dioxide plus water. Carbohydrate, which we take from the food, So carbohydrate we get from our food, and oxygen we inhale through our nose. So carbohydrate and when oxygen react with each other, they produces energy, carbon dioxide and water. So the oxygen causes carbohydrate present in the food to break down completely into carbon dioxide, water and energy. Energy is consumed by our body. Carbon dioxide is released through our nose, and water is released as a waste product. So carbon dioxide and water along with heat are released as a waste product, whereas energy is used by the body for our daily to daily works. So carbon dioxide is released through our body from the nose through exhalation. Now my dear students, we will see just the types of respiration. So there are two types of respiration our body performs. So the two types of respiration which our body performs are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Respiration is of two types, that is aerobic and anaerobic. First we are going to see aerobic respiration. So the respiration which require oxygen for producing energy is called aerobic respiration. The respiration which require oxygen for production of energy is called aerobic respiration. Most of the living organism performs aerobic respiration. So equation for aerobic respiration can be summed up as carbohydrate plus oxygen give rise to water, carbon dioxide plus energy. So the respiration which require oxygen is known as aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration causes complete breakdown of carbohydrate. Aerobic respiration causes complete breakdown of carbohydrate, producing a large number of water, producing a large number of energy. Water and carbon dioxide are released as a waste product. Most plant and animal, even human being, carried out aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration causes a production of large amount of energy. Carbon dioxide and water are produced as a waste product, and most of the organism like human being, birds, animals, they carry out aerobic respiration. Now the second type of respiration which we are going to talk about is anaerobic respiration. This respiration may also occur without oxygen. So respiration which may occur without oxygen is called as a anaerobic respiration. Respiration which occur without oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. So how can we define anaerobic respiration? The type of respiration that does not require energy, that does not require oxygen for production of energy is called anaerobic respiration. The type of respiration that does not require oxygen for producing energy is called as anaerobic respiration. The equation for anaerobic respiration can be summed up as carbohydrate in absence of oxygen give rise to alcohol, carbon dioxide plus energy. Here the waste product form as compared to aerobic and anaerobic. In aerobic respiration, the waste product are carbon dioxide and water, whereas in anaerobic respiration, the waste product are alcohol and carbon dioxide. So only there is a change in the water and the alcohol. In aerobic respiration, water is formed as a waste product, whereas in anaerobic respiration, alcohol is formed as a waste product. So anaerobic respiration causes incomplete breakdown of carbohydrate. Anaerobic respiration causes incomplete breakdown of carbohydrate. It also causes produce of less amount of energy. It is not like same efficient as aerobic respiration. Certain bacteria and fungi carry out the anaerobic respiration, sir. Only some of the bacteria and fungi carry out the anaerobic respiration. Example of organism which carry out anaerobic respiration are yeast. Last we are going to talk about the respiration in plants. So like we human beings and animals have nose for taking in air, the plants have tiny holes to underside their leaf for the breathing. For breathing, the plants have tiny hole underside their leaf which are called stomata. You can see this is open stomata and closed stomata. As we have nose for breathing, similarly plants have stomata for the exchange of gases or for breathing. Plants breathe through stomata. They take in oxygen from the surrounding air and pass onto the plant cell, and they do also release carbon dioxide from the plant cell. Each stomata is surrounded by two guard cells that control the opening and closing of stomata. So you can see here by yellow color, these are the guard cell. These guard cell helps in the closing and opening of the stomata. These guard cells help in the opening and closing of the stomata. That is, it controls the breathing process in plant. The guard cell controls the breathing process in plants. Roots of plants also take in oxygen from the trapped air. As like plants breathe through their leaves, they also breathe with the help of roots. They also breathe with the help of roots. So roots take in oxygen from the air trapped within the soil particles and give off carbon dioxide. So roots also give out carbon dioxide and take in oxygen. This is called root respiration. This is called root respiration. And this is only the reason why we need to plough the fields, because as root respire, they take all the oxygen from the surrounding air, from the surrounding land, and when they take the oxygen from the surrounding land, for providing more oxygen to the land, we need to plough the land. We need to plough the land so that the root can so that the air can penetrate into the soil particles and can take up the root. As like plants on the land, aquatic plants from the dissolved take oxygen from the dissolved oxygen in water. Aquatic plant take in oxygen from the dissolved oxygen in water for respiration. Such plant directly exchange gases with the water surrounding their leaves, stem and root. So aquatic plant breathe through the oxygen dissolved in water and they release the carbon dioxide in the water. So here our chapter number 9 explanation is completed. In my next class I will give you the exercises and question answer of this chapter. So be prepared with your copies for the and work for the completing this chapter.